Tesla may have accidentally just leaked a huge new feature that is set to be a total game changer for all Tesla vehicles. Also, if you're thinking about buying a Tesla, I've got some good news and bad news on that front. And also, a major update is beginning to roll out that fixes a lot of the issues that came with version 11, plus adds some cool new features as well. I've also got news from GigaTexas. I've got some new features being added to Teslas in China. So much to dive into, so much cool Tesla news. There's a lot to talk about this week, so let's dive in. But first, of course, a huge thanks to Recurrent for sponsoring this video. This is an amazing service that you need to know about if you own or are looking to buy an EV, but more on them in a bit. Now, first things first, a big update is beginning to roll out to all Tesla vehicles that has a couple of important changes and features built in. This is 4.5, and it includes some features that sort of, fix some of the major design overhauls that came with version 11 just a few months ago, specifically with the return of a dedicated supercharging button on the map. Thank you very much, Tesla. Driver profiles, LTE status, and Sentry mode is all now way more easily accessible while the vehicle is in park. Another long requested feature that is finally live in this update that we first saw from Teslas in China is the ability to change the car's color. You now can basically go into the Tesla settings here and change the color to anything under the sun, whatever you want. And this is really great if you've wrapped your Tesla or you've painted it, whatever the case may be. If the color of your car has changed and you want that to be reflected on the little Tesla preview inside of the car, on the map there in the visualization, and also in the Tesla app, this is the perfect way to do it. And it seems to work pretty instantaneously here in this latest update. So a really cool update, or I guess a cool new feature in this latest update coming to all Tesla vehicles. Thank you, Tesla. This is super cool to see. Now, speaking of version 11, I'm sure more than a few of you guys are hanging out on version 10, lingering on that older software, hoping that Tesla doesn't force you to update, like a computer or a phone where they sort of force that update on you and all the elements change. Maybe you just hope you can sort of cruise with version 10 and remain on that for the foreseeable future, but unfortunately, doesn't look like that's going to be the case for sort of an odd reason. According to a Reddit thread here, it looks like Tesla is sending messages to at least some version 10 users saying that they need to update their car by February 22nd in order to sort of keep the features that they've become accustomed to: satellite maps, streaming music, Tesla mobile connectivity, over-the-air software updates. All these features will stop working, presumably, if the car stays on version 10. Now, what's weird about this is that Tesla is blaming a change to the AT&T network for this, which I think the only thing that AT&T is doing in the foreseeable future is switching off their 3G older cell structure, I believe. I could be wrong on this, but the cars, at least Tesla vehicles, mostly use LTE, but I guess they might not always use LTE. They might fall back on 3G, so I guess I kind of get it here. Anyways, Tesla, for whatever reason, whether it's legitimate or not, is sort of using AT&T as a scapegoat here and is sort of forcing all owners to update to version 11 in order to keep their functionality. I guess you could stay on the older version, but you wouldn't have all the functionality that your car currently has. So just a little heads up, it looks like there's a cutoff date now that you need to update to version 11, or you might begin to lose some features. Next up, let's talk Tesla deliveries. If you're thinking about buying a Tesla right now in February of 2022, you may have to wait just a bit to get your car depending on the model you go with. Specifically with the Model Y here, demand for this car is absolutely crazy, it is bonkers, and delivery dates just keep slipping. If you want your Model Y sooner than later, your best shot is to pony up the money and go with the performance model that now has an April 2022 delivery estimate that actually just slipped for March. And for the long-range version, the standard wheel config has a delivery estimate at the end of the year, which is crazy, in December of 2022. But if you want to save yourself about 4 months, you can pay $2,000 to get the bigger wheels and get the Model Y a little bit quicker. It's also worth mentioning that I just went through this entire ordering experience of a long-range Model Y myself, and I'll leave that saga linked down below, but the TLDW on that is that Tesla delivery estimates, of course, are just estimates. They will wildly change, especially based on your location, so plan for the very worst, but usually, especially near the end of the quarter, don't be surprised if your car goes from being 6 months out to 6 weeks away. Things can just sort of change rapidly. I have been very happy in my Model Y as of the last couple of weeks, and I'll have more content on that car coming up very soon. But if you missed that entire Orga saga where I go from deposit to delivery, check out the video linked up here and down below. And on the Model 3 side, things are a bit better. You can get a performance Model 3 in March, long range in May, and the beloved Center Range Plus, the rear-wheel drive model, is available in June. And speaking of the Model 3, Tesla has just released a new upgrade in China that will make Model 3 owners very, very happy, and that is now the possibility of installing an intelligent powered trunk. Like most features that are launched in China these days, this should come to the US and other parts of the world over the next few months and can be scheduled to be installed at your local service center from right within the Tesla app itself. It's probably going to cost around $650-ish, at least that's the USD equivalent of the service being offered in China, and should be a really nice addition to the Model 3. And personally, I didn't realize how much I valued the powered trunk until I got the Model Y, and I use it all the time. It's really nice, of course. And also, I guess I should mention here that there are aftermarket solutions that have always been an option. I'll leave a link to a couple down below. So if you want to do this yourself and probably save some money, you can do this, and I don't think it's super expensive to do it, and it's probably not even that hard to do it. But if you do want the OEM official parts and have Tesla have the option to install for you, that feature should be coming very soon. Now, before we continue with more Tesla news and some huge leaked features, I want to take a quick break and tell you all a bit about this video's sponsor, Recurrent. Now, if you haven't heard of Recurrent, I did a full video of this service recently. I will leave link down below, but essentially it's an awesome company giving essential battery insight to electric vehicle owners, potential EV owners, and dealers looking to sell EVs to their customers. And like the site says so perfectly, odometers count miles, not battery health, and that's exactly where Recurrent is here to help. And personally, one of my favorite Recurrent features is a totally free monthly battery report that tracks the health of your battery and analyzes it against thousands of other vehicles in the Recurrent fleet. It's totally free, it's private, it's secure and automated, and just takes a couple of simple clicks to sign up and get going. And I actually have here my latest and last report of the 2019 Model 3 Standard Range Plus that I just turned in. It was lease return. Most interesting right off the bat here is the range. The car started out with a 100% range of 240 miles, and now almost 3 years later, it's around 218 miles. So not too bad, but about a 10% reduction over the last 2.5 years I owned then drove the car. This monthly battery report also gives some excellent charging insights as well. This green band here is the target zone. This is where you want to keep your car's state of charge, and I mostly stuck to it there, though there were a number of times I went a bit above and a bit below that zone, but keeping it in that green band is going to be best for the battery and minimize battery degradation. As you can see, I have some work to do, and I probably should be more mindful of keeping my new Model Y in that green band zone. And I can also see here in a really clean graph just how my range compares to other similar vehicles in the Recurrent fleet. My Model 3 here was definitely in the average zone, but a bit lower than most. And finally, what's probably most interesting for many of you guys these days is the market insight here that gives you an idea of what your car might be worth. My 2019 Model 3 Standard Range Plus is currently worth over $49,000. Not bad at all, even if it is down 1% compared to last month. I am just a huge fan of this monthly battery report from Recurrent. Again, it is simple, it's safe, it's secure, it comes to you automatically every month, and once you sign up, that's all you got to do. You're going to get some incredible data and some incredible insight into the health of your EV battery, and just sort of better keep tabs and keep track of your sort of charging habits and how you're doing compared to the other vehicles in the Recurrent fleet. It's really awesome. Love what Recurrent's doing. And they also have a number of other services as well for dealerships and also for you if you're looking to potentially buy an EV, especially a used EV. Recurrent has got some awesome tools that you've got to take a look at and check out for yourself today. So again, learn more about Recurrent and sign up for this totally free monthly battery report today by clicking the link right down below. Again, a huge thanks to Recurrent for sponsoring this video, and learn more and sign up today for this awesome, totally free monthly battery report, and learn more about Recurrent and all they offer by clicking the link right down below. All right, next I want to get into some of the massive software leaks that point to some really big features coming to all Teslas very soon. This first leak, found in the latest Tesla code for the app, I believe, suggests Tesla will soon be offering an annual discount for both premium connectivity and full self-driving subscriptions. And for those unfamiliar with premium connectivity, it's basically your car's data plan. It lets you stream music, shows, movies, have access to live traffic, satellite maps, live Sentry mode. Basically, your car is almost worthless without premium connectivity. It's easier to show you what the car can do without premium connectivity than it is to show you what it can do. So most owners, because of this, are willing to pony up the money and pay $10 a month for access to this, and it has been a pretty worthwhile feature. It's basically, again, it's like unlimited data for your Tesla. Now, we don't know specifics as to what kind of discount Tesla is going to offer, but I'd venture to guess probably $100. I think that's sort of fair. So you sort of save $20, which is sort of a win-win for everybody. You as the customer, if you know you're going to pay every month for this, like I am, $20 saved is $20, nothing to look down at. And also for Tesla, they get to collect some more money upfront early. So it's sort of a win-win for everybody. Of course, again, like I mentioned, this is also supposed to be coming to full self-driving, but that sort of has its own price category of around $200 a month if you don't have EAP. So not exactly sure what kind of discount Tesla is going to offer for that, but an annual discount should be coming to, again, both full self-driving and premium connectivity, hopefully as an upgrade coming within the app sometime soon. And there are really sort of two big leaks here regarding the Tesla App Store that we need to talk about. One has to do with sort of code that suggests that Tesla is working on something for an App Store, and another is a leak of the App Store, sort of, by Tesla themselves in plain sight. In a recent behind-the-scenes video published to the Tesla LinkedIn account, shows the Zoom icon in the dock of the Tesla. And this sort of confirms a couple of big things. One is that Elon has said himself that they are working to add video conferencing inside of the Tesla, that you'd be able to use presumably the microphones built in and the interior cabin camera to do, well, video calls inside your Tesla. So Zoom would make sense. And also, if there's this sort of API being written for this, that means an app store should be right around the corner. Zoom should just be the very beginning where Tesla will either open up to all developers or a handful of developers the ability to add their own custom apps to all Tesla vehicles, something that many of us have long been waiting for. And we actually just sort of got this really cool proof of concept video that shows in good detail what a Tesla App Store would look like and how it would work. And if it looks anything like this, it is going to be so good. One of the best parts of this concept, though, is not just what the apps would look like and how they would function on the screen and how they'd work, but how they would sort of build themselves, or I guess take advantage of different parts of the car in order to sort of make your life easier. For example, maybe you're ordering something from Burger King, so you could sort of see the menu there on the full screen. That's nice. It's really easy to see, and that sort of makes sense. But more than that, you could pay directly through the car, through the sort of card on your Tesla account. That would be really nice, and again, makes sense, sort of like paying for supercharging, where you don't have to actually take out a card. And also, what if the ability was built in that your order would be sort of queued, and then as soon as the car was sort of a good distance away from the restaurant where it knew that you would sort of be able to not have to wait too long, it would automatically send that order to the restaurant. So when you got there, depending on where you were sort of GPS-wise, the order would be ready to go. Seems a little complicated, but if Tesla was to sort of build out this API, this stuff would be possible. And a Tesla App Store, again, I've said this before, makes so much sense. You could have extra integrations to the map. You'd be able to have other media sources. You'd be able to have better streaming apps, theater apps. There is so much functionality and so many possibilities a Tesla App Store could open up, and it's a win-win for everybody. Owners could get more apps, they could get more functionality, they could pay for it. Tesla could collect a percentage or a chunk of whatever the App Store makes. It's win-win for everybody, and I hope Tesla does it. Hopefully, we see this as sort of a precursor to what is to come, and as Elon has mentioned, this is sort of being the year of software. We see more software upgrades and hardware upgrades this year. I wouldn't be surprised if a Tesla App Store comes sometime in 2022. We know Tesla has been working on this for quite some time, so hopefully this is the year that we finally see it launched. And also some final news to round out the list here is that Model Y production is in full swing at GigaTexas. New flyover shots, spy shots from Snapchat and other photos suggest that Model Ys are being produced in large quantities so far at GigaTexas. Of course, Tesla is waiting on some final regulatory approval, I believe, until they can start sending these cars directly to customers. But it looks like production is starting to ramp up and things are going very well. Of course, these new Model Ys should have all the latest 2022 features. We're talking the AMD Ryzen processor, double pane windows, heated wiper park, the new lithium-ion battery, and hopefully the new structural battery pack, the 4680 included as well. So as always, guys, I want to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this rumored Tesla App Store? Do you think it's going to happen? What apps would you love to see? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Also, what do you think about Tesla sort of forcing owners to upgrade to version 11? Do you think that they should allow owners to stay on version 10 and sort of upgrade at their leisure? Or do you think Tesla's making the right move? And as version 11 stands right now, as it gets better, what are your thoughts? Do you like it more than originally you thought you might have? Do you not like it? What's the biggest gripe you have with it currently? Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. We can talk Tesla news, and all of the good stuff that's coming. Of course, thank you guys always so much for watching. I super appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.